Sometimes poker can be very stressful. What's the best way to deal with that? Take some leisure time. Like go to a baseball game and spend $18 on a fucking hamburger and soft serve ice cream.
I'm on a $10,000 downswing. That ice cream felt just as bad as losing a $4,000 pot. A few sessions ago, I sat down with myself and said, listen, Corey, if you keep losing, you are going to end up on the streets, and that doesn't sound like a fun future for yourself. Start playing better poker. Stop being an asshole.
After the Red Sox game, I roamed the street of Boston and ran into a crackhead. I asked him, hey buddy, can you tell me why I'm so bad at poker? And he said, absolutely. First and foremost, you're opening way too wide pre-flop. 9-4 under the gun isn't gonna get it done. Secondly, you bluff too frequently post-flop. Check fold every once in a while, you whale. Ever heard of discipline? Clearly not. I told him, whoa, buddy, this is getting far too personal for my liking. Handed him $1, said go grab some alcohol. I'll see you in the AA meeting next week. I drove home with my new insight on why I'm losing so much money.
So there you have it. Those are the 3 reasons why I've been dusting money. This video is going to be broken up into 2 sessions. One at Chasers, one at Boston Billiards. The first session is during the middle of my downswing. The second is more recently with my adjusted playstyle. See if you can spot a difference.
Starting off at everyone's favorite homeless shelter, Chasers. It doesn't look homeless from the inside, but my god, this exterior needs a rework. We sit down at the 2-5 with $1,000 and immediately get involved. We have Queen 9 of spades in the cutoff. Hijack raises to $25. According to GTO, this hand is a fold. According to my philosophy, it's a call. Past version of Corey says both of you guys are pussies. This hand is definitely a 3-bet. I make it $75, and only the hijack makes the call. Going heads up in position to a flop of 4-4 deuce. 2 diamonds and a heart. Really just bang this one out. On this board, I think betting small makes the most sense with all of my hands. Never trying to get pairs to fold, more so just suited connectors, king high, queen high, stuff like that. So when hijack checks to me, I bet $65. Hijack doesn't think for more than 5 seconds before assessing that I'm full of shit. He puts $65 in the middle as well. We go off to a turn card, which improves us. It doesn't. It's the 5 of clubs. Hijack checks to me once again. Going back to pre-flop, if this player had aces, kings, or queens, I would expect a 4-bet, especially from late position. He's never going to call me down, say queen high is no good, then flip over aces. He could do that with 7s or 8s, though, which is exactly the hand that I put him on. Then I thought to myself, if I had 7s or 8s, what would I hate to face? The answer? An overbet. I want to apply maximum pressure and get his pairs to fold. I ramp up the aggression and bet $400. The hijack seems perplexed. He's like, what kind of crack did this kid snort before entering this card room? He thinks about it for a while. And after a minute, he makes the call. Oh, shit. What did we just get ourselves into? Dude, we're sitting here in a $1,000 pot with queen high going to a river, and not one card on this board even matches our suit. We go off to a river, which peels off yet another 4. Oh my god. What the hell do we do? Hijack checks it over to us once again. When this player calls an overbet on the turn, he's not going to have a flush draw. He's not going to have, ace high just muddling around trying to out-bluff me on later street. He has a pair. However, I also have a pair of balls. I jam all in for $1,287. Yep. Classic river jam with pocket aces, kings, or queens. At least that's what I'm repping, and I hope to God that this player believes me. This player's in the tank for what feels like a literal calendar year. I'm sitting here and I look stoic. Internally, I actually feel calm. However, I don't think money feels real to me in this moment because, my god, I just bet $1,300 with queen high. Looking back, it's a clear check fold in the turn, but my god, I have ambition. After 5 minutes of tanking, the hijack folds pocket 6s face up.
Cojones! Stone cold. I told you, child prodigy.
Seat 7 is a watcher of the vlog, and he is absolutely hammered. He's pounding Heinekens like Dasani water, just straight down the hatch. Every time I open, he either calls or 3-bets. There's never a fold button. Keep that in mind going into this next hand. Here we have Ace King of Hearts in the hijack. I raised to $30. Seat 7, who is on the button, he looks over at me. He's like, "Oh, Corey opened? Yeah, go f*** yourself. $105. And I was like, "That's not enough money, sir. I am going to 4-bet you." I put in the cold 4-bet to $315. The button makes the call. Already a huge pot brewing with over $2,000 left to play for. The flop comes King, Queen, 6. This is quite the connected flop. I like around a third the most, but this guy was drunk and I would like him to cover my car payment, so I bet half pot. The button doesn't think about it for a second, and he min raises me to 630. What in God's green earth is this bet? This guy has surpassed the threshold of drunkenness where every possible hand looks like aces, so he could have king, queen, queens, pocket sixes. We're losing to a lot here. Hey, if it's our time to die, so be it. I put in the call, and we go off to a turn card, which comes the 7 of hearts. I check, playing in flow, and the button bets once again. This time, $700. Whew, okay. He only has around $900 behind. If he has a draw like Jack 10 of diamonds, I don't want to just call and have him check back the river. Plus, he's going to call regardless because he's getting such good odds. So, if we're behind, screw it. Let's just get all the money in there. I close my eyes and jam all in for around $1,600. The button immediately says, "Ah, you got it, Corey. Ah, you got it," and folds his cards. No sweat whatsoever, but I would be lying if I said my heart rate was not starting to go wild on this turn bet. The premiums don't stop here. We have pocket kings in the straddle. Button limps. I raised to $50. The button makes the call. Flop comes just about what you'd ask for with pocket kings. Ace, Jack, 8. Rainbow. Great. We see bet $35, betting our entire range, and the button makes the call. The turn peels off a magical King of Hearts. Wah f***ing la. The button has $13.50 behind, so I want to pump as much money in as I possibly can. This board is super good for my perceived range, so if I had nothing, I would probably bet really big. If I have something really good, I'm also going to bet really big. I elect on a sizing of $200. The button goes well into the tank. For the first few seconds, I'm praying for a call. Then I think about it more. This guy and I had played a few pots in hands prior, and whenever he had an ace, he check-raised the flop, or he raised immediately in the flop. I don't think this guy has 2 pair, and I also don't think this guy has an ace. I looked at the board again, and a hand that makes a lot of sense is Queen 10 calling the flop with a gut shot, and absolutely drilling the nuts on the turn. Holy shit, I think we might be behind. I look at the button, I look at the gears grinding in his prefrontal cortex. He's just trying to figure out how much to raise to. After around a minute, the button throws out a raise to $550 with $700 behind. Ugh. This obviously feels no good. If I call, we're gonna need the board to pair. The implied odds are there, I guess, but immediate odds actually aren't. So, as wild as it sounds, I elect on a fold. Yeah, I know. The button shows Queen 10 for the nuts. I still think peeling a card here and seeing if we boat up is the correct play. If we do hit a full house, I like jamming, not even giving him the opportunity to check, but it is what it is. You'd think we're coming out of the downswing. Nope. Over the next 3 sessions, we lost another $5,000. Ugh. I was playing like a maniac and wondering how could I ever possibly be losing money. Anyways, Let's move on to the session at Boston Billiards. In the first hand of the night, we pick up pocket nines in the hijack. I raise to $30, the cutoff calls, then the button 3-bets to $150. Yikes. This is on the larger size. 4x my raise, plus the caller's money. However, I look over at the button stack to see how much he has left. Then I see a good old bottle of alcohol. This guy's been sipping tequila like a baby bottle for 30 minutes plus. This guy had been quite talkative, just really a social butterfly. This is starting to make a little bit more sense in my book. I'm not saying he was drunk, but if he was driving, it would be illegal, and Jesus would certainly need to take the wheel. So this guy raises to $150. There's not a single universe that I can find myself folding. I stick in the money, and the cutoff folds. We're going heads up, out of position to a flop of King 9-6. Voila. This is what we love to see. I check, playing in flow, and the button bets $225. Wow, that is a large sizing. I don't see any reason in raising because we filled out all of his bluffs. When alcohol is involved, bluffing frequency is no less than 100%, so why would I want to minimize his range? I stick in the chips, and we go off to a turn card which peels off the Jack of Clubs. Ugh, not a good card, as we now lose to pocket jacks and any flush. I check it over to him, and the button immediately jams all in for around $600. Obviously, I'm never folding, but we actually lose to quite a number of stuff here. I just wince and stick in the call, and we go off to a river, which peels off the Jack of Hearts. So if we were behind, we're probably not anymore because we are standing on a good old boat. I show, and the button reveals Ace Queen of Hearts. Can't fault him for trying, because I promise you I've done stupider things sober, let alone intoxicated. We take this one down. Let's move on to the next hand. Shortly after, we pick up Ace King offsuit in the cutoff. Low Jack raises to $40. I 3-bet to $120. Only the low jack makes the call. Going heads up to a flop of Ace 6 Deuce Rainbow. As the 3-better, I'm betting a third in almost every situation. This one's no different. I slide $80 into the middle, and the low jack immediately starts questioning me. This old man starts interrogating me like I just took his younger daughter to prom. I'm like, dude, I don't really know her that well. Plus, I have Ace King. What do you want from me? I have to bet this. He gives me a stern look, promises that he'll get me next time, and folds his cards. Next, we look down at pocket threes on the button. I raise to $30. The big blind and straddler make the call. Flop comes pretty damn good for our hand. It's Queen 10-6. Yeah, we connect in zero shape or form. This is where I usually blast off for no reason on 3 streets. But the whale uses his flipper to hit the deck once. Can you believe it? We found a check. Turn rips off a beautiful 7 of diamonds. We still don't connect with this board in any way, so when action checks to me once again, I'm really just gonna... We get to see a free river card, which comes to 3 of diamonds. We river a set. Action snap checks over to me once again. I am certainly going to go for value. It's going to look really fishy considering action checked over to me twice. I think I'm going to get called by pretty much any pair here, regardless of the sizing. Why not go for pot? I pick up 1 black chip and attach it to a hook and throw it in the water. Here, fishy, fishy. Here, fishy, 50. Bang! Big blind snap calls. Straddler gets out of the way. We flip over the winner, and the big blind is like, F***. Around this time, the entire table said, Corey, you're way too good for us. We're going to break this table. I was like, that's understandable, but disappointing. There are no other 2-5 tables running at the moment, so we go and plop down at a 1-3 table. Here we have King Queen offsuit in the big blind. Button straddle is on. I raise to 20. The button calls. Flop comes absolutely nothing to do with me. I don't really care. I bet $15. He folds. Here we have King 10 offsuit on the button. I raise to 20. The same player calls. Flop comes once again. No business. He checks. I see bet. He looks at his cards, mucks them into the middle. We take down another small pot. This happened repeatedly to where I started to feel like tension was growing and that he was about to take a stand. Sometimes in poker, you just take a stand at the wrong time. Here we have pocket kings. The same player from before raises to $15. I 3-bet to 50. I could tell in this guy's mind he thought I was just full of it. He makes the call, and we go off to a flop, which this one we do connect with a little bit. King, Queen, 8, Rainbow. Wow. I bet $35, which is around a third pot. I would be doing this with 100% of my range. Unlike hands prior, this player makes the call. Oh boy, I feel a pot brewing. Turn makes this situation even better. It's the 8 of diamonds. We fill up. I don't expect this player to ever call me on the flop with an 8. I think most likely this player has a king or a queen, or a hand like Jack 10. Regardless of what he has, dude, I have a full house. I want to get all of the money in by the river. There's around 170 in the pot as we speak, and this player has $400 behind. I elect on a sizing of $75, setting up a pot-sized jam on the river. This player thinks about it some more, and says, buddy, you can't have it every time. I call. Going off to one last card, which comes the brick of all bricks, the 3 of spades. He checks it once more. I mull it over for like 15 seconds, acting like I have a decision. What can I do here? I'm all in. This player goes into the tank. It seems like he made up his mind on streets prior that this little is full of it. This player makes the call. We show, and he immediately starts pushing his chips forward, and we're good. We take this one down. After felting this poor gentleman, this game also broke, so we were left twiddling our thumbs at an empty 1-3 table. And you're going to be left twiddling your thumbs wherever you're watching this, because this is the end of the video. See you later. Bye.